To diagnose faults with the Vega, there's a number of different things we can look at. So initially you'll see the display here. This will normally display how many notes are present in the top recycler. Also, it displays fault code. So at the moment you'll see it's in a green, it's got a green light there, so it's just displaying notes. If this has a red light showing, that's then displaying a fault code that is present, so it's giving you an idea of where the fault is within the unit. Another thing we can look at is if the entrance is, as it is at the moment, flashing blue, that means that it's currently not enabled to accept notes. It's either not communicating with the host machine, or the host machine is inhibiting it from accepting notes, maybe due to the float level being low or another problem within the machine. So if you see it blue, it means communications is potentially going to be the issue. It's not ready to accept notes, it's not trying to accept notes. The normal state that it should be in is, as we'll now see, with it flashing multicoloured. So it should just be pulsing this multicoloured to enable it to accept the notes. The normal thing you'll see when there's a jammed note, or if there's a problem with like one of the doors being not correctly as it should be, just slightly open the door, is the flashing red bezel. Now that normally will indicate either a jam, or like here I've just lifted the lid up, so now that's caused a jam, so it's not, everything's out of alignment. So if you're seeing a red flashing, normally it's something's loose. So what we'd initially look for, you squeeze these two sides clips in, and then you can lift up and you can just check in here, make sure there's no notes jammed. You often see towards the back here a note that's on its way into the cash box at the bottom that it's jammed. If that all looks okay, we can look at the back of the unit. Again, squeeze the two clips in, move it back, and you may see something here. The back opens up to gain access to where the notes are paid out from. You'll normally see notes rolled up here, and also just check as well, because what can happen from time to time is these bands can come off. So make sure you've got both bands shown as here, and the two bands coming up here, just as it's shown like this. If a note, it will be worth just at this stage paying all the notes out manually. I've removed you normally have a blue cover here, but what you can actually do is wind like this, and you'll wind all the notes out. So it'd be a good idea to wind all of the notes, and as you're doing that, they'll all just basically be coming out one at a time from the back of this unit. So take all the notes out, and the other thing you can check, which will probably be one of the first things before doing this, is to remove the cash box from the bottom. And again, sometimes you'll see a note here, but just undo the note box and make sure there's no notes sort of stuck here. This isn't sort of down slightly, but yeah, sometimes you'll see a note and it won't have passed here properly. It'll be sort of on its way through. It might be sort of scrunched up here. So just check that the notes aren't jammed at all here, and that should resolve it. But for any further issues, look at the fault code on here, which will normally display, and that'll indicate where the error is within the note unit, and we can advise on that.